But, I wanted to thank some more sponsors because tonight they didn't have an opportunity to get a shout-out. And we're talking about folks like Cabins and More of Texas with the Countdown to Kickoff. You're going to hear from them all season long as our Countdown to Kickoff sponsor. Something really exciting, we'll start it next week, is Southern Talk. It's going to be interviews with Coach Rodney Southern. That's made possible by Charlie's Used Cars. Starting lineups this season going to be possible from Walker County Federal Credit Union. We'll also have the Hornets halftime show brought to you by Northside Baptist Church. And then the Hornets post-game wrap-up, that by AB Squared Self-Storage Facility. And then, of course, Copeland Family Dentistry will be our Hornets broadcast booth all season. So some partners returning and some new partners as well, Brian.
Oh, that's terrific. And, again, it's all about the community and the support of Hornet Nation. And we can't thank them enough for doing that for these young men out there playing football. Kirby, I wanted to ask you, talking about growing up in Huntsville and playing for the Hornets, let's talk about the attitude of a Hornet and everything that's involved. I know when I was playing in the mid-'80s for Joe Clements, our attitude is it didn't matter who we play, we were going to beat them. And we did. Tell me what about your experience?
Absolutely. And it started, back in junior high, really when, the coaches would have summer camps. They had programs where they came and watched you in junior high. And so, I see a lot of that now too with what Coach Southern's doing is having the players come down the stands and having those younger kids see
Isn't that cool?
And so
yeah.
when they get to that age, they're ready to go. They already live and breathe it, and they're proud to be a Hornet. And that's 9/10 of the battle right there, in my opinion. And so it's really great what I'm seeing from the coaching staff.
And that's such a cool thing because I remember as an elementary kid here in Huntsville going to Friday night football games at Bedrock, I could not wait for it to be my turn. And I knew I had a long way ahead of me.
Absolutely.
But that was part of it.
In seeing the kids, the players come when you're in elementary school and coming for a program, and you just, you idolize those players, and, those coaches talk to you, make you feel welcome. It's something that I just can't explain, and it's something that these players and kids in this school district have that opportunity.
The other thing, the talent level that's in this community is through the roof. It's always been that way. Tell me a little bit about when you were playing and what you're seeing now with the talent and the kids coming out and playing.
Yes, I mean, there was, we had guys when we were playing that had scholarship opportunities to go play in big D1 schools, and you just kind of followed that from when you were out of school, and you look back, and it seems like there's more and more of these special players that we're getting, and that Huntsville High School and the district are able to kind of cultivate into athletes. When you're in junior high, sometimes you've got that talent where you don't have to really work hard. But when they get up to the high school level, they're working them hard, and they're able to get them on to that next level.
It is amazing to watch these young kids grow into varsity players that you've seen as little kids who have been coming and watching Friday night football games, and now they're out there playing on Friday night. And it's just the talent level this community has produced throughout all these years and all these decades has just been phenomenal. And, of course, winning breeds success.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm seeing more and more kids come out for the program, because this team is, under Coach Southern, he has done an amazing job, and it's fun to see these kids come out.
In Huntsville, you can actually say that Huntsville now is a program. You just don't have it's where you have a 2 or 3 year flow of talent that comes in. No, they've set up a program. And, you see that now when you see rankings, if you look at that sort of thing. But Huntsville's always at the top now, the top 5 or 10 in 5A. So it's really, really neat to see.
Well, it's, the exposure that it brings to these kids, what you're talking about being top ranked. And I know back when you were playing, y'all were up there as well. Back when I was playing, we were up there as well. In the 70s, the Hornets were up there. They've always managed to be at the top of, the top echelon of high school football in Texas, and we're seeing it again. And it is, for me, as a former player, and I know you probably as a former player, that is such a cool feeling. And to watch these kids Friday night, man, for me, it doesn't get much better than that.
Absolutely. It's something amazing, and that's like when I got in here, it's neat to see football again on Friday nights, especially after everything that the country's been through with COVID, but to give these kids that opportunity, some of the kids last year, their seasons got cut short, and you hate that for those graduating seniors who played the spring sports. But it's good for them, and it's just it's great to be up here.
Well, we're having a lot of fun tonight. We'll get back to action here in just a few moments. We're going to step aside. We'll take another break. Kirby, thanks for being up here with us tonight, man. How can folks connect with you and just find out a little bit more information about First Financial?
You can go to our website. We have our main branch here in Huntsville on Highway 75, and we've also got a branch down in New Waverly, and then we've got 9 total locations throughout the Conroe region. And just real quick, wanted to make an announcement that we are in the process of building a new bank. It's going to be right across the street from where we're currently at, but it'll allow us to house all employees and all your banking needs under one roof. So we're really excited about that, and we'll have more information to pass along as we get a little bit further along in that process.
That's terrific.
Awesome. Well, Kirby, we appreciate you. Thanks for your support this season, and we'll be cheering on the Hornets. Sting 'em.
Sting 'em, Hornets.
We'll take a break here for just a few moments, and we'll come back to more action. We'll talk more about the Hornets. We'll also talk with Jordan Smith down on the sideline. Stay with us, friends. This is Huntsville Hornet football on the all-new Hornet Nation Broadcast Network. We'll be back in just a few moments.
It's so good. Loaded baked potato pizza? Yeah. Fat Boys Pizza. You've never tasted pizza this good. Get out of your comfort box and tease those taste buds. Fat Boys Pizza in Riverside. Try those delicious wings. Or how about the Fat Boys Delight dessert with butter, cinnamon, sugar, and cream? Check out Facebook.com/Fat Boys Pizza Trailer. Or make the short drive up 19 in Riverside. Fat Boys Pizza proudly supports the Hornets. Sting 'em.
We made it. We made it to Labor Day. And here at Wiesner in Huntsville, we're going to celebrate Labor Day all month long with huge savings on a great selection of Buick and GMCs. We have the all-new Yukon XL in stock. If you're looking for a truck, we've got half tons, 3/4 tons, and plenty of 1 tons. We even have huge savings on a complete lineup of midsize SUVs like the Encore GX, Envision, and Enclave. But you have to hurry to Wiesner in Huntsville and see just how big these Labor Day savings truly are. Or visit us online at WiesnerHuntsville.com. GMC is professional grade.
Ironworks Health Club is open and ready for you. They're observing social distancing and have additional cleaning stations throughout. Group fitness classes are designed with spacing, and there are even some classes outside to enjoy an open-air workout. Sign up for a new membership and get a free 30-minute personal training session with a certified personal trainer. For schedules, membership, and the latest information, follow them on Facebook or go to ironworkshealthclub.net. Come and be an inspiration with Ironworks Health Club.
Hi, folks. This is Jack at Adams Furniture. Listen, you come into the store right now. I know furniture is hard to find. We've got some of this stuff in stock, ready for immediate delivery. A lot of people don't realize we are one of the largest mattress stores in Huntsville. We've got more beds, more selections. As far as price goes, we've got great beds at low prices. You won't be disappointed. That's Adams Furniture, 75 North and 10th Street, or shop online at shopadams.com.
Looking for no bull customer service, no bull selection, and no bull pricing? Then head to Bill Fick Ford in Huntsville, your no bull Super Duty and Super Crew headquarters. Right now at Bill Fick Ford, there's a huge savings to be had on all in-stock 2019 Ford Rangers and Ford Transit vans. Hurry in today and see for yourself why so many people buy time after time at Bill Fick Ford. Or shop online at BillFickFord.com. Nationwide delivery is free. Bill Fick Ford, I-45 South in Huntsville.
Spring is here, which means longer days and big plans. This is Veronica at CSCU. Whether you want to consolidate debt, do some work around the house, cover unexpected expenses, or treat yourself to a much-needed vacation, a personal loan from CSCU can cover just about anything you have in mind. Get access to the money you need when you need it. Apply online today at cscutx.com or give us a call. Hablamos español. Bank happy, spend smart, live well. CSCU, member NCUA.
All right, friends, we are back live here, and appreciate everybody joining us. We are live here in Huntsville, Texas, here on 101.7 KSAM. Great to hear from Kirby there for just a few moments while ago, Brian. Just a tremendous asset to this Huntsville community and all the fine work that they do.
Oh, no question about it. It was great to have him up here and be able to visit with him and with First Financial Bank, hearing about his growing up here in Huntsville and playing football for the Hornets and the excitement that he sees out there tonight and the excitement building up for the season ahead.
Well, we've seen some plays tonight. Maybe we'll try to get through some of these kids as well. I know tonight just for us, more of just getting the names out of the folks in the community that are helping us. And, again, we'll work through this first one. We'll have everything set up ready to rock and roll next week. And you just talk about the way that you've got to feed and route everything. And here tonight, talking about the coach, how he had to try to route what was happening. They thought that maybe they would be able to get a game, possibly, Brian, and from the Arkansas area. They were even looking down at South San in San Antonio and that area and Bernie Champion. None of that worked out. And so tonight, just a little bit of an inter-squad practice here.
Well, he did. He did everything he could with Needleman pulling out. Coach Southern did everything he could to try to put an opponent on the schedule for tonight. And, of course, it didn't work out, and that's okay. We've got another practice that they can get under their belts, and the coaches get a chance again to look these athletes over. These guys get to, make sure they're doing the right assignments. It's kind of a dress rehearsal for next week at Willis. So, not all bad. And, again, there's a lot of players that did an amazing job last week at Lufkin. And I'll tell you, Rob, I'm so excited about this season and the Hornets' chances this year.
Well, we are excited to be here tonight. We'll talk more about our in-game sponsors as we talk here. It brought on a lot of new partners this year. On the Move Physical Therapy and Wellness. Appreciate those guys. They're going to be our scoring drive recap partners this season. Every time that there is a Hornet quarterback sack, that's going to be from Hartfield Florist. And then also Moke and Moke, attorneys at law, returning again here as the first down sponsor this season. MRC Creekside, a new supporter here that said, look, we want to get involved. We want to help out the Hornets. We want to be part of the community in this aspect. They're going to be our extra point sponsor this season, or they are our extra point sponsor this season. Every time we get down to the red zone, Brian, always a great opportunity for sponsorship there. Murray Insurance and Financial Services will be our red zone sponsor. And then Climatech Secure Storage, Christy over there, appreciate her on the Hornets kickoff. And then something new this season, Brian, and we may introduce a few of these here before too long, but we've got a replay system as well that we'll be introducing this season also, and excited to bring that, and that is from Walker County Federal Credit Union.
Well, I'm excited because, we're allowed this year for the first time to not only do radio, but to do video. And for the people that can't make it out to a ball game or make it down to an out-of-town game or something like that, they get a chance to see the game, hear the game on the radio, see it on video, and see replay. And some of the technological advances and things that we're bringing to the broadcast is absolutely amazing and exciting, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Got an extra point kick on its way here, actually a field goal, and that one is going to go – look like they're going to do some kicking here, Brian, through the uprights on that. And here's a perfect example right here. We'll go to the Walker County Federal Credit Union instant replay and show you that here. Now, we got to be mindful because we're still on FM radio as well. So there's a lot of folks out there tonight that'll be listening that won't actually see the video. They're listening on radio. But we do have that ability to show the replays on the video and those kind of features as well, Brian.
Well, you talk about Coach Southern is trying to look at all aspects of the game here tonight because, again, next week it's going to go live and they're going to be full contact and it's going to be a serious deal. But this gives Coach Southern and his staff an opportunity to look these players over and go through the kicking game, look over the defense, make sure the offense is hitting all their calls and all their blocks and the wideouts are running the correct patterns. And it's just, again, this is a good thing for them. It's going to be a dress rehearsal. They're not going to do a lot of physical contact. They're not going to be completely live because you don't want to get anybody hurt prior to the season starting. But, again, it's going to give them a great evaluation of the talent they have going into this season.
We'll continue to see just how things shape up this season here for Huntsville. We talk about 30 seniors off the team and returning. We've got Cam Cole. I believe that's Cam out there, unless he's wearing a different number. He's lined up as a receiver, but out there playing quarterback. Of course, A.J. Wilson is the junior quarterback out there, but it looks like Cam Cole may have been taking some steps there as a quarterback. Coach told us going into this, he said, look, we're going to be wearing our regular numbers tonight. And so you got to wonder how things are going to line up. We see Nemo Winfrey out there. And so some of these guys – maybe playing a little bit on both sides of the field here tonight.
Well, again, it's going to give the coaches a chance to see these kids play on both sides of the football. especially at quarterback. You know, A.J. Wilson, you know, is your starting quarterback. And let me tell you, the kid is talented. And he had a heck of a scrimmage last week against Lufkin, and he's only a junior. He played 2 games his sophomore year, did a great job, got the Hornets, propelled them into the playoffs. And this kid is going to be exciting to watch. And, again, his build kind of reminds me a little bit of the Texans quarterback. Just he's not quite as filled out, obviously, but he's a tall kid with a strong arm, very fast. And that's another thing Coach Southern is pleased about. He's got his overall team speed this year is ridiculous. And he is excited about that. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, we appreciate also the support of the Hornet Football Quarterback Club here this season. You know, I had an opportunity to get to know a lot of folks. Brandy out there watching, and she, I believe, is actually out here in person tonight, but she's also listening in. We appreciate you, Brandy, and all that you do. And that's what this community is about. You know, the Huntsville Hornet Quarterback Club, a great opportunity to get involved. You'll hear their spot if you haven't already sometime during this broadcast. But, Brian, that was important. Get here, get involved with the Booster Club, learn more about this team, learn more about the community, and just all the different motion and pieces that go together to really make things work. And that's what this is all about. Coach Southern is actively involved in these kids. And, you know, I was talking to Coach a while back. He goes, Rob, I think of these kids as my sons. I love each and every one of them. That is what you get from Coach Southern.
Well, I met Coach Southern when he first arrived at Huntsville because my son Jake was going to be playing high school football the following year, and my immediate impression with Coach Southern was terrific. I was excited he was going to be here. I listened to his philosophy in football and everything that he brings to the table, and it has been perfect. I mean, he has his style and his philosophy. Everybody's bought into it. The Hornet program was kind of lackluster at best prior to him getting here. Now that he's been here, and he had his work cut out for him, but he has turned the program around. And of course, they have won 5 playoff games in the last couple of years. Not a lot of teams can say that. He's got a lot of talent, and everybody's bought in, and it's fun to watch.
Well, we've got a little bit of time here. We're actually going to step aside. A.J. Wilson's going to hold here. Looks like a kick attempt setting up here for some more points. And, you know, as I talked about earlier, all season long, we talk about our extra point kick and all of the folks that come in, again, to make all of this happen. And MRC Creekside has came on and helped out with that this season. And this is a good opportunity. Get a lot of good looks here, Brian. Let's go through some more of those folks that are helping to make this happen this season.
Yeah, let's do that. Hartfield Florist, personalizing your events since 1957. And Moak & Moak Attorneys at Law. For your estate planning, real estate, business law needs, call Moak & Moak Attorneys at Law, serving Huntsville since 1971. As you mentioned a while ago, MRC Creekside, healthy living, senior community. And Murray Insurance and Financial Services, an agency you can trust. Climatech Secure Stores, the ideal place to keep your belongings safe and secure. And Copeland Family Dentistry, wonderfully made.
Awesome. Well, we'll step aside and take a break. When we come back, we'll talk to Jordan Smith, who's down on the sidelines. We'll try to get some information from him and kind of see how things are going tonight. But again, friends, stay with us. This is the all-new Hornet Nation Broadcast Network here on this Intersquad scrimmage. We'll be right back here in just a few moments.
Part of any game, we get to see the mighty Hornet Military Marching Band. The team goes to the locker room. The coaches make corrections and tweak the game plan. And then it's back to the gridiron to finish the task and fight to get the mark in the win column. Church is a halftime for the soul. You can stretch. You can be refreshed. Friends, we'll never change the game plan because Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. There's only one plan. It starts with Jesus and ends there. I'm Reagan Cooksey, pastor of Northside Baptist Church. Are you listening?
AB Square Self-Storage is your local go-to self-storage facility that can help give you the extra space you need. From non-climate and climate-controlled storage to parking spaces for your car, boat, trailer, and RV, they've got it all. AB Square Self-Storage has 24-hour computerized gate access, around-the-clock security camera monitoring, no long-term lease commitment, and convenient payment options. Give them a call today at 936-755-5000 or reserve your space online at www.ab2selfstorage.com. AB Square Self-Storage is a proud sponsor of Huntsville Hornet football. Sting 'em Hornets.
Cabins and More of Texas offers a wide selection of portable cabins, sheds, horse barns, carports, and much more. So whether you are looking for more storage space or want to create a new space, we have a solution for you. With flexible payment options, including pay up front, rent to own, and traditional financing, everyone can afford their dream structure at Cabins and More of Texas. No credit, no problem. Drop by and see our buildings on Highway 19 in Riverside. For more information, visit camotx.com. Cabins and More of Texas is a proud supporter of Huntsville Hornets football.
First Financial Bank knows how important a person's vehicle can be.
My SUV is perfect for taking clients to properties and me to the golf course.
My pickup hauls work supplies all week and the family on weekends.
My hybrid helps the environment and my fuel bill.
If you're ready for a new vehicle, talk to First Financial. We offer loans at competitive rates with fast local approval. My 4x4 works hard, but plays even harder. First Financial Bank. You first. Member FDIC.
All right, friends, welcome back here in Huntsville, Texas. I'm Rob Hipp alongside Brian Adams. Brian, it's good to be back in the broadcast booth, man. I didn't think that we were going to end up being here this season, and here we are. And just a great night tonight to get out, have a little sense of normalcy, and then hopefully a full sense of normalcy coming back next week as we're on the road in Willis, my friend.
Man, it is great to be back in the booth and watching the Hornets have a good practice going on tonight and just kind of a prelude to the season starting next week against Willis. Man, the fall weather, I absolutely love this time of year. You know, football is being played, and the weather is cooling down a little bit for us. Just exciting stuff.
Well, we're seeing a lot of action here tonight, and we've seen players on both sides of the ball here, of course. Coach Southern wanted to get some more time in. And, you know, Brian, as we look down, a lot of folks here in the Huntsville community came out tonight, and I wanted to commend the staff here at Sam Houston State. I wanted to give thanks to Sam Houston State University for going ahead and allowing Huntsville to play here at Bowers this season. There's a lot of things going on here, some remodeling stuff about to get started before too long. But I'm going to tell you, Brian, folks showed up tonight, and they are very socially distant, everybody following the rules, and that's what it's going to take to have a successful season, to keep people healthy, to keep these kids healthy, and just to have that privilege of being here tonight in this booth and especially down here at the stadium for these kids.
Well, you know, what's super cool is there's a lot of fans down here below us here watching this practice tonight. And again, to your point, you know, Bobby Williams, athletic director for Sam Houston, who I used to play for back in the late 80s. He was the defensive back coach, who's now the AD. Just terrific, and allowing Huntsville to come out and be here tonight under the circumstances. But there's a lot of people. There's a lot of interest in this team this year, and a lot of excitement being built up.
Well, again, here, just a couple of teams. I know it's been hard tonight to try to describe some of the action here over the radio and what we're seeing and just trying to paint that picture. What we're seeing here tonight is Huntsville out in their green jerseys. They're playing here in this inter-squad practice, if you will, and half the team, of course, in their green jerseys, the other half in the black jerseys. Brian, I don't know of a time that I've ever actually called a practice.
This is new for me, too. But you know what? We're still the great thing is we're able to do it. You know, and we have a practice that we can call. But, you know, I'm certainly looking forward to next week. But, again, you know, it's fun to see these kids out here, and there's a lot of talent down there. And those kids, you know, they've had – it's been strange for these kids because you come into workouts during the summer. They started their summer workouts, and then they had to stop their summer workouts. And then they had to wait a week or it was 2 weeks, and then they came back. So, you know, one of the things that's kind of amazing is how do you keep that competitive edge going? Well, these kids have been playing football, been playing sports since they were little, and this is something they absolutely love to do. When you love a sport that you play, you know, you're going to stay prepared, you know, just yourself. So I don't think they really missed a beat with the stop and start during the summer workouts and the kind of the strange situation that we're in this year. I think these kids are itching to play, ready to play. And as we see tonight, they're going through different scenarios to get prepared for next week.
Yeah, it looks like that maybe Christian Avalar, the junior kicker here, set to punt this one away. And we'll get a look at some special teams here. It's going to play an important role this season. It's an area that the Hornets have really tried to improve on. And, again, I know I keep going back, Brian, talking about this young squad and a lot of seniors lost, but this is an opportunity for these new kids to get out here tonight. You know, they want to be playing. They wish that they could have been playing Nederland tonight, but they're going to look ahead to next week. They're still getting that time in. And, Brian, I wanted to bring that up because when you have those type of scenarios where there may be a cancellation, and we may see it again, hopefully not, but we may see it again this season. But when you have that, you know, sometimes some folks may just fold. The coach may say, you know what, don't worry about, we'll do a practice, but we're not going to open it up to the community. As broadcasters, we could have easily said, okay, no broadcast tonight. We could have easily just taken a seat back, but we still wanted to bring this to the community. And you got to credit Coach Southern. He said, we're going to get out here. We're going to get out here in front of our fans, and we're going to bring something to these fans on Friday night and let them have an opportunity to see our kids here as expected.
Well, as you were saying earlier, I mean, Coach Southern was trying everything he could do to have a live game tonight. I mean, he was calling people in the south of San Antonio to try to get games and in different states to get a game, doing anything he could possibly do to get a game. You know, it was such short notice. It didn't work out, you know, and that's okay. But, again, there's a lot of people in the stands tonight. There is a lot of excitement about what's going to happen this year as we watch A.J. Wilson hand the ball off. You know, that I keep, you know, being a former quarterback and watching this young quarterback, this kid is so talented and he's got so much speed. One of the concerns Coach Southern had going into this year was, again, you lose 30 seniors, that's a lot. And let me tell you what, that can hurt you. But when you've got a winning program and you've got everybody bought in, and what Kirby said with First Financial Bank while we were talking to him, is these kids are ready in middle school, elementary school. They can't wait to get out here the same way I was when I was a kid. And those kids, the talent level, you know, for the second string kids, the JV kids, the talent level for Huntsville is through the roof. And it is, and it's on display here right in front of us at practice.
Well, let's go down to the field. Jordan Smith has been down there eagerly awaiting us. Jordan, do you have us down there tonight?
Yeah, I got y'all.
Hey, Jordan, well, what's the, you know, you've been down there. There's no one on the away side, if you will. Everybody's kind of lined up there here on the home team side. What's kind of been the mindset? What's been the attitude? What have you seen here so far tonight during this practice?
Well, the main thing, for one thing, kind of going off what Brian said earlier, you lose 30 seniors, and you see a lot of run plays, a lot of run action or run option plays, I should say. That's mainly due to the fact they lost their entire starting offensive line from this past season. So that's something that they're trying to really work on for this season, is getting that new offensive line acclimated to, you know, their roles, because none of these guys were starters before. And so they're really trying to get them acclimated. Obviously, like I said, what would have been tonight the first game, maybe a little bit of a benefit for them in a way to get that extra little bit of practice to make sure that next week for their rivals in Willis, that they have everything down and ready to go.
Well, Jordan Smith down there. Jordan, you work with a student radio, but you're a great broadcaster. I've watched you kind of grow up in a way, I guess you could say, over the last couple of years, Jordan. Just amazing talent. I wanted to ask you real quick, you know, you were supposed to be covering a game tonight yourself for Nederland, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was actually supposed to be broadcasting this game for another network for Huntsville versus Nederland tonight here at the stadium. So, you know, just honestly, you know, just glad to be here either way.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you, Jordan. We'll check back down with you, and maybe here in a little bit we can grab some interviews. I know that we were hoping to try to talk to some of the cheerleaders as well and kind of help support them. You know, Brian, this is one of those things, and Jordan, thanks for being here tonight. Brian, it's one of those things where it's football, yes, but there's so many components that make football what it is. You're talking about the community support. We've talked a lot about that tonight. But then you also have other programs that I don't want to leave out. You have your band. You have cheerleaders. You have booster clubs. You have so many people that are involved that help make football at the high school level what it is.
Well, it takes a lot of people, and the parents. You know, the parents are, in my opinion, number one, and the support that they give to make sure these kids are here and can be at practice and you know, make sure they're doing their studies and grades and things like that. A lot of support goes into making a good program, and Huntsville has that. And as you said, the band, I mean, the military marching band from Huntsville has just been terrific for so long. And the cheerleaders and just everybody involved has done a great job. I want to quickly go back to Jordan's point a while ago about the offensive line. You know, I think you're right. That was one of the concerns Rodney Southern had going into this season, was his O-line. But the good thing about this O-line is, yeah, they may all be new at the position, maybe starting for the first time, but they get to practice every day against probably the best defensive line, certainly the best defensive line in the district. So they get some good practice in and to know what to expect from basically the Bobino brothers that are anchoring the line. So these O-linemen are getting some good practice in for some good game situations.
Yeah, and you talk about the Bobino brothers, and, of course, Ed getting some Division I offers. There's kids on this team that are extremely talented, and they've still got room to grow, Brian. A lot of juniors on this squad this year, and, you know, you talk about that leadership, and these juniors have had to step up and be that new leader for this team. And I've talked about A.J. a lot tonight. We saw him get some snaps out here already. He was just out there moments ago, and, of course, here back on the field right now, and A.J. will line up. We saw a great effort from him last week. A lot of passes that, that you wouldn't expect a quarterback to come in and make right out of the gate, and he's done that. And we see a little dump off here to Cornelius Lawrence, and he's only a junior wide receiver. So, again, a very young team. And, Brian, as we know, just opportunities for these kids to continue to grow and get better as the season goes along.
Well, you got some seniors out there that absolutely light you up. Cody McLaren is one. Jordan Woodbury, he's a heck of a wide receiver, and I'm sure he's going to be targeted quite a bit this year. A lot of those kids, who are now seniors, are stepping into that leadership role, and they're bringing along the juniors and the few sophomores that are on the squad, and that's what leaders do. And those kids I just named are fantastic leaders, play some great football, and you got to step up, man. When the whistle blows, you go play.
Seeing a little shotgun offense here. Abe Wilson down there throwing in the flats, and we're going to see a lot of that connection, I believe, this season, as we'll see Cam Cole out there, the junior wide receiver, who just was thrown to just a few moments ago. And as we continue, Brian, and move along this season, I've said it, and I know we keep spinning around, but these kids are just going to continue to get better. And seeing a couple of these same formations line up here, Brian, you got trips stacked up in a row there to the left, two receivers down to the right. Wilson will get the snap around the 45 and kind of chase back, and they're just going to blow it dead. They're not letting these kids come out here and pop each other too bad. We got to get ready for Willis next week. We don't want to do any hardcore popping just yet, Brian.
No, you don't. And again, that's and we expected that tonight. You don't want to start your season. You don't want to get anybody injured tonight. But again, this is about as good as it's going to get from a live ball game. And the coaches get to evaluate each kid at each position. And again, hey, Rob, these kids are still fighting for a starting job. This season has not started yet. So you still got kids out here, young kids that want to play and want to start. And everybody's giving it a great effort.
Quarters this season, too. I didn't want to forget about that. We've got several folks who are making our broadcast possible. Quarter sponsors this season. First quarter sponsor is Huntsville Hornet Quarterback Club. Talked about them just a few moments ago. Appreciate Brandy McLaren and all that the folks at the Booster Club do. Our second quarter sponsor this year, Hits Solutions, and they're also going to feature an FCA Spotlight. In fact, they've got a golf tournament that is coming up on October the 10th. And more information about that, you can go to the KSAM Facebook page. We'll add information there tomorrow sometime. But they've got a golf tournament coming up. We're going to have an FCA Spotlight every game this year as we get back into action. That's made possible by Hit Solutions. And then third quarter this year, the city of Huntsville sponsoring the third quarter. And appreciate them and their new Huntsville First initiative, talking about staying in Huntsville, spending money in Huntsville, and bringing that money right back here to the local community. And then new this season as well, our fourth quarter sponsor, Daiquiri Beebe of Abbey Realty. She's also going to have a featured listing every broadcast as well once our games start. So we appreciate all the support from all of these wonderful folks helping to make this happen this season, Brian.
Yeah, no question about it. We couldn't do it without them and the community. I'm telling you, this is one of the best communities ever. And being fortunate enough to grow up in this community, having my son grow up in this community, we are grateful. The people are just unbelievable. This is a sports town. They love their football. Of course, they love their baseball, volleyball, softball. They love it all. But football in particular, it is one of the things that this community has been coming out and supporting for a super long time.
You saw AJ there moments ago as the protection broke down and AJ was able to step through it, and that's going to be something else that we'll see this season out of that young man is whenever he gets cornered in the pocket, he's able to break through, he can run, he can extend plays. That's going to be so critical as we go forward throughout this season, Brian, and we'll actually take a look at that here from the Walker County Federal Credit Union Instant Replay for those of you that are on the video stream. As AJ, the protection broke down, he had 4 or so defenders coming at him. He was able to work right through that. Clear as day, Brian. Just saw a gap, ran right through it. And you talk about game situations, those are the type of plays that you need from your quarterback, and he's going to do that this season.
Well, that's one of the things that's, football has evolved. Back when I was playing, 30-something years ago, we were half run and half pass. It was pretty balanced offense. Nowadays, it's the spread offense. So it's about 80-20, maybe 90-10, something like that. But A.J. Wilson, folks, this guy is so fast, and he can create big opportunities just with his legs alone. The offensive line, if they can just hold their blocks a little bit, just to give him a little bit of just so he can hit his drop step, take a look downfield, because that's what he's wanting to do. He's wanting to go through his progressions. And first one, you try to make a big play. And then you drop down the intermediate route, then the dump-off route. The O-line just gives him a little bit of time. A.J. Wilson's going to eat him up.
Yeah, we'll see it all season. We'll step aside here in just a few months. When we come back, we'll talk more with Jordan Smith down the sidelines. For now, though, we'll take a break. We'll thank some more of our sponsors. This is the Huntsville Hornet Intersquad practice, and we're live here from the Hornets broadcast booth. We'll be back in just a few moments here on the all-new Hornet Nation Broadcast Network.
Vehicle? Charlie's Used Cars has a large selection of quality, like new vehicles in stock and ready to go. No need wasting time driving around shopping. Just look up charliesusedcars.com or go by and see them at 230 I-45 South in Huntsville. Charlie's Used Cars has been serving the area for 47 years and look forward to many more. Also remember, if your current vehicle needs service or repairs, they can do that too. Charlie's Used Cars and Charlie's Service Center at 230 I-45 South in Huntsville. That's Charlie's Used Cars.
The Huntsville Hornet Quarterback Club thanks the Huntsville community for your support of Hornet football. Are you interested in knowing more about the Hornet football program? Would you like to be involved? Meetings and membership are open to the public. Please like the page on Facebook. Search for Huntsville Hornet Football or go to facebook.com/Huntsville ISD Hornet Football. You can watch Hornet football live all season long at ksam1017.com. Join the Huntsville Hornet Quarterback Club today. Sting 'em Hornets.
Hey, Huntsville sports fans. This is Robert Lindeman of Hit Solutions Player Development, helping instruct the stars to shine. Hit Solutions Player Development teaches the fundamentals of baseball and softball with proven offensive and defensive strategies and techniques. We instruct and inspire each player to be the best they can be by teaching the mental side of the game. To have the confidence to bring in the game-winning hit, visit us online at hittss.com. Hit Solutions, a proud supporter of the Huntsville Hornets.
Hey, this is Tracy Chappell, City of Huntsville's Main Street Manager. I want to encourage you to invest in our community, Huntsville First. Whether you visit an antique shop downtown or stop by your favorite food truck, every purchase you make here in Huntsville boosts our economy. Become a tourist in your own backyard. Get out and enjoy the great outdoors at Huntsville State Park or the Sam Houston National Forest. Visit one of our historic museums and enjoy the art and culture available right here in Huntsville. Remember, shop, eat, play. Huntsville First.
All right, friends, welcome back here on 1017 KSAM and the all-new Hornet Nation Broadcast Network. And we are here in the Copeland Family Dentistry Hornets broadcast booth. Good to say their name. Appreciate Ty Copeland and all their support. We'll go down, though, right now to the sidelines. We've got an interview coming up here with the cheerleaders. Down to you, Jordan Smith.
Thank you, Rob. And first off, we're going to talk to, what's your name again?
Fallon Johnston.
So what do you do here with the cheerleaders?
I'm the head coach of the cheerleaders, and so we work on improving their skills and getting them ready for game day.
Awesome. And what's your name? What do you do with the cheerleaders?
I'm Lauren Rudolph, and I'm the assistant coach here at the high school.
Okay, awesome. And then you are?
I'm Catherine Hinke, and I'm a senior cheerleader.
So kind of talk about, obviously, this being a little bit of an interesting situation. Obviously, no game tonight. Kind of what is y'all's role, really, in a situation like this where there's not a game, so there's not as many fans, there's not any official action, just a practice, but what's kind of y'all's role in a situation like this?
I feel like our role is to still bring the Hornet spirit and even though the team's not playing an opponent, get them still excited to play. And it's also good practice for the cheerleaders for when we do have game day. And so they're more prepared. And I feel like just to bring a game day atmosphere, even though it's not a real game.
Kind of talk about what something like this, kind of like what your coach said, gives you all a little practice, but kind of talk a little bit more about, as for you as a cheerleader, what does something like this, what kind of challenges, maybe what kind of things does this help you work on, maybe some different routines, things like that?
So it really gives us the opportunity to get all the little mistakes out before our game next Friday. And we have had mistakes tonight, but we kind of get a chance to work through those and just perfect everything before next week.
Now, kind of talk about, obviously, y'all as an organization, y'all, hyping up the crowd, getting the team spirit going around, not just for football, but for all of Hornet athletics as well. Kind of talk about, just the atmosphere that y'all experience here, on Friday nights here at Bowers Stadium when these Hornets come out in the field and try to get the win.
We love coming out here on Friday nights. We enjoy coming in, hyping everyone up when it's whether it's the students or the parents or the athletes. Not only do we come here on Friday nights, but we also help support the volleyball teams and many other organizations at the high school.
Now, kind of talk about that a little bit. Obviously, a little different atmosphere, but I imagine still the same, if not, sometimes, especially with a little more closed-in space, a lot louder sometimes. Kind of talk about how that kind of changes what y'all do routine-wise and things like that.
Like when we're at volleyball?
Volleyball, basketball, anything.
So we do a lot less movement, so we won't do as many stunts, or really we don't do any stunts at all. And so we're not able to showcase all of our skills, specifically stunting and tumbling, but we're not there for us, we're there for the athletes. So we just make the most of just doing the cheers and the chants.
So obviously next week expected to have the first game, fingers crossed everything goes well, against the rival Willis, on the road obviously, but still want to make sure that any fans who come for that ball game definitely get, hype and support their team, especially on a road game and especially for the rival in Willis.
Yeah, so the football players sometimes really feed off of the crowd, so it's really important for the crowd to be there and hype them up along with us, cheering them on. And so it just really helps to have the crowd there and making noise for them and helping them.
Now, tell us a little bit here before we end the interview. Tell us a little bit about how fans can come out and support this cheerleading squad, whether here or elsewhere.
So we love when the fans come out and they cheer with us while we're at the games. We also compete at UIL and Nationals, and so we love when they come out for our practices and for our show-offs before then, just so that we also get support as we support everyone else.
Well, thank you all for coming and doing this little interview here in this inter-squad practice. The Huntsville cheerleading squad here at Bowers Stadium. Back to you guys in the booth.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that great interview down there, and thanks to the cheerleaders and all the hard work that they put in. Brian, I talked about it just a few moments ago, and so great that we were able to capture them there. That's part of this whole program and part of bringing the community together. And, Brian, I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of communities that when they grow, they get a second high school, and that's why one reason here in Huntsville that I feel this community is blessed is, yes, it's growing, but we still have the one high school, and the community can focus their attention on that one high school. Eventually, down the road, the growth is always inevitable. It happened in my hometown, and now they're talking about a third high school there, which is unbelievable. But I love the atmosphere in Huntsville. I love how the community gets behind this team and these kids. And we talk about Rodney Southern here, 7 years and now coming back. His son graduated. He didn't have to stay. He said, but I love this community. I told you earlier about how much he cares about these kids, treats them like they're his own son. And he decided, I want to be here. I want to continue the great things that are going on here in Huntsville, Texas.
Rodney Southern, again, and I said it a little earlier in the broadcast, I met him when he just arrived here in Huntsville. And I was very impressed with just his football knowledge, his strategies, and everything that he brought to the table. And this community has embraced him, and he has really done a good job. There's been just some outstanding teams through the years come through Huntsville. Some outstanding coaches, and Coach Southern certainly up there at the very top. He's just really good. It's all about the community for him, and some of the things that he's brought and wanted to do. And he was excited that we were going to have video, and just all those kind of things for these kids. And he's always takes the time to talk to parents. He takes the time to talk to players. And, he welcomed me when I introduced myself to him. We had a great visit. We still have great visits to this day. And the community's fortunate to have him here as their coach.
Well, Brian, we'll stay on for just a little bit longer. The practice, for those of you back in Radio Land right now that are listening, the practice for the moment had paused. Nothing bad going on. It's just they're taking a rest, so kind of treating this as maybe a halftime. It looks like the kids are getting up now as Coach Southern and calling back into action here. They were just taking a little bit of a break. We're going to step aside. We'll take a break as well. When we come back, we'll talk more Huntsville Hornet football here live in Huntsville, Texas. This is the all-new Hornet Nation Broadcast Network.
call. This is Daiquiri Beebe with Abbey Realty. Communication is key when it comes to a successful real estate transaction. Putting my clients first and helping them through the entire process is my passion. I know the neighborhoods in our community and those who live in them. I serve and volunteer with numerous organizations because I value Huntsville. You may have seen the I Heart Huntsville interviews or read my articles in the paper. I'm Daiquiri Beebe with Abbey Realty, and I'd be honored to be your next real estate professional. Sting 'em Hornets!
First Financial Bank knows how important a person's vehicle can be.
My SUV is perfect for taking clients to properties and me to the golf course.
My pickup hauls work supplies all week and the family on weekends.
My hybrid helps the environment and my fuel bill.
If you're ready for a new vehicle, talk to First Financial. We offer loans at competitive rates with fast local approval. My 4x4 works hard, but plays even harder. First Financial Bank. You first. Member FDIC.
Huntsville ISD is the best place for children to be. We offer a full-day pre-K center to advanced career and college options, along with a variety of extracurricular activities and award-winning fine arts, band and athletics programs, an excellent child nutrition and bus transportation services, bilingual ESL and GT programs, special education services, and a career and technical education program that provides multiple certification and licensing options for students. Visit huntsville-isd.org. It's a great day to be a Hornet. We're building champions, everyone, every day.
We made it. We made it to Labor Day. And here at Wiesner in Huntsville, we're going to celebrate Labor Day all month long with huge savings on a great selection of Chevys. We have the new Tahoe and Suburban in stock. If you're looking for a truck, we have plenty of half-tons, three-quarter tons, and one-tons. We also have huge savings on a complete lineup of midsize SUVs like the Trax, Equinox, Traverse. But you have to hurry to Wiesner in Huntsville to see just how big these Labor Day savings truly are. Or visit us online at WiesnerHuntsville.com. Chevy, find new roads.
All right. Here on the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, I'm Rob Hipp alongside Brian Adams. Brian, been a fun one so far. We're seeing some special teams out here on kickoffs now as we get things underway here in the second half of this scrimmage, if you will. And if we were going to have a quarter, and we could just call it the third quarter, it's the city of Huntsville Main Street, third quarter, Brian.
Perfect timing, right? No, it's the Huntsville Hornets took a little bit of a break there, kind of a little short halftime. Just trying to give them a little bit of a real game situation to kind of get them to catch their breaths, kind of go over a few things. It looks like they are going to, they got the ball on the 2 coming out. So this is going to give them A.J. Wilson a little bit different look and the rest of the Hornets. Anytime you're so deep in your own end zone or your own territory, you got to be very careful because you certainly don't want a safety. So that's another aspect of the game that coaches are working through tonight. As they continue their practice.
Well, maybe we'll do a little play-by-play here as A.J. will be near his own end zone on the right side, standing in between the hash marks, actually under center here. He's going to keep it and tries to go up a couple of yards. So a little bit of situational plays here to get a little bit more practice here for the Hornets. Picks up 1 yard, second down and 9. And these are the situations. You get into them during the game, Brian. On a good kickoff from the opposing team, you'll be backed up way in your own end zone. This is good opportunities here for the Hornets to try to figure out how they're going to work out of it this season.
Oh, absolutely it is. And this is going to happen to them, and they need to be prepared for it. And they've got to secure that football because you don't want to turn the football over this deep in your own end. So, yeah, great situational football here.
A.J. this time will stand in shotgun, stands on the Bearcats logo, a delayed handoff to his back over to the left side, not much on it. They may give him forward progress back to the original line. No, they're going to call it a loss of 1, actually, or maybe even 2 down to the 1 yard line, Brian.
Well, that's when you get down like that, the defensive line is in goal line stance, and so is the O-line. And these guys, their face mask is only inches off the ground, just trying to get some sort of momentum. And it is difficult. And that's why these young men have to secure that football because it could turn the tide of a ball game quickly, turnover this deep in their end.
Well, 3rd and 11 here from their own end zone in the flat. The pass back in the end zone, and the receiver there able to break through across to the 2 or 3 yard line. Brian, this also reminds me it's practice for us. I'm going to need to bring my binoculars this season.
Well, you know what, Rob? I'm prepared. I have my binoculars sitting right here, and I'm ready to use them. That right there, that little pass out in the flats, that deep in your end zone, boy, that's a scary pass play because it doesn't take anything for somebody to step in there and pick it off and And, man, you have a quick pick six, which would just completely stop your momentum. But, again, we're in a practice situation, so they're looking at all aspects of the game.
Well, Jordan Smith is down on the sidelines here in just a few moments. We'll go down to him. He'll interview A.J. Here's a punt here as a test for Christian Avalar and a short punt that will be fielded around the 35. Let's send it down now. Jordan Smith down on the sidelines with quarterback. A.J. was down to you with A.J. Wilson, Jordan.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Rob. Down here with quarterback A.J. Wilson here. Kind of how are you feeling about how everything's going so far today?
It's going great. We need a little bit more practice and stuff. It's going great.
So kind of talk about a little bit what you're trying to run here, what kind of things you're finding as you're starting, obviously your first year starting quarterback for these Hornets. Kind of talk about what you're trying to adjust and what you're trying to get through here in this early bit.
We're trying to I'm looking at reading defense and stuff. That's helped me get through this and stuff. And everything's going great. We have a young O-line, offensive line. They're getting better every day. They come to practice every day, getting better and better every day.
I was going to say, because obviously all new starters on the offensive line, so obviously not only are you trying to learn this new offense as a new leader, but they're trying to learn this offense with you as well, especially for the running game, especially for you, trying to find that open pocket in case you've got to go take off and make a 15-yard run or so. Kind of talk about how that adjustment and how that transition has been like with this brand-new offensive line for you, kind of learning at the same time.
The transition, it's been great, but we have a few mistakes and stuff every once in a while and stuff, but they'll get it. They'll get it.
So obviously next week against the rival in Willis, all things go well. Y'all have that game next week. Kind of talk about what y'all are looking for in Willis, what y'all are kind of expecting from them.
We're expecting defensive returners, offense returners, and all that stuff.
All right, thank you, AJ. All right, that was the starting quarterback, A.J. Wilson for Huntsville.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Jordan. I think they were waiting for A.J. to get back over there. Appreciate you tonight down there on the field, Jordan, helping to bring in some interviews with some of these kids as we learn. And, one thing about this, Brian, that I'm really excited for are these kids, an opportunity to be interviewed, and that's going to help them tremendously as they move forward and advance and what they're doing. And A.J., just a very great young man, had a chance to chat with him just a little bit the other day as I head up to the school as we were going to the booster meeting, and I just gave him a pat on the back and said, hey, you got a great season and a bright future ahead of you, young man.
Well, A.J. Wilson is a junior, and he played a vital role last year as a sophomore in 2 games for the Hornets that, again, propelled them into the playoffs. And A.J. is a young kid, a super talented kid, and, he steps into the leadership role. The quarterback is the field general, as they call him. And so far in this early point into the season with the scrimmage last week against Lufkin and this practice here tonight, he doesn't look like he's going to be the starting quarterback for the first time. He looks like a seasoned veteran. He is very athletic, and he has good what they call field vision, Rob. And for a young man to be able to see that's pretty special.
Yeah, and it's exactly what I thought. They were waiting on him to get back out there on the field just a few moments ago. So sorry about that, Coach. We had a little interview down there with AJ. He told us it'd be okay during this practice. So, and a little bit more situational things here. Earlier we saw them down in the end zone. For those listening back on the radio, we saw them down in the end zone. They're doing a little bit more of that situational type plays right here. And Brian, it's going to come up often this season, and they've got to execute. So far here tonight, they've been back there. Of course, they're playing against themselves here in this inter-squad scrimmage. But so far tonight, when they've been backed up in that end zone, they haven't been able to get out of it. That's going to be an area of concern that they're going to have to continue to work on as this season goes along.
Well, they're going to have to figure it out because they're going to find themselves in that situation deep in their own end zone, and they've got to move the ball. The whole idea, Rob, that pass was a little bit underthrown there by A.J. Wilson. You got to put a little bit more on it. You can't just lay it up like that. But, you've got a defensive line with Ed Bobino. Again, we talk about him quite a bit, and, of course, his brother. Those 2 young men, that defensive line is, in my opinion, the best in the district. So you're going against some just outstanding athletes, and they're not going to give you an inch. But you're going to play against teams, they're not going to give you an inch either. So you have to figure it out, and that's part of what Coach Southern is going through right now.
Yeah, I believe it was the senior safety there just a few moments ago, Jarian White with that interception, and that may be the first mistake that we've seen so far this season, even though we haven't played a game by A.J. just yet.
Well, no, it's early. But, Rob, while we're in this little break here, I want to read some more sponsors off if I could. The Huntsville Hornet Quarterback Club, Field the Sting, and Hit Solutions. We bring you home. City of Huntsville, Huntsville First, Daiquiri BB, Abbey Realty, Huntsville Real Estate Expert, Fat Boys Pizza, hand-tossed dough made fresh daily, pizza, wings, and more. Adams Furniture, we beat big city prices, and our good friends over at Bill Fick Ford, no bull, just good deals.
A lot of community support. We appreciate each and every one of them who are helping to make these broadcasts possible this season as we've worked through a few things here so far tonight. I'm kind of glad, like I said when we came on, Brian, that we had an opportunity to be here because it's practice for us also. We try to be professional as much as we can, but we run into a few technical hurdles sometimes. And tonight, though, been able to work through that. And here just enjoying some practice football here. The keeper, I believe, that's A.J. Wilson there to the right side, and a nice pickup on a first down. He'll move that ball up to around the 38 here in this practice.
Well, one of the things with A.J., and obviously his speed is just off the charts. But, his first focus is to look downfield and to throw the ball and use those legs to get himself out of trouble. And that's one of the advantages with having such a talented kid playing quarterback who understands that. But then, again, the offensive line, it's their responsibility to give A.J. the time so he can look downfield. So, it's going to be an exciting year for Huntsville, and I'm expecting the Hornets to put up a lot of points.
They've got it near midfield, resting on around the 37-yard line on the right hash. It's A.J. Wilson in the gun, fakes the handoff over to the right side. He'll take it, tucks and runs over to the left side. Nice hole for A.J. Wilson across the 50. It's a first down here in this practice for A.J. Wilson. Actually, was that someone else out there, Brian?
Man, I believe that was Cam Cole wearing number 1 with that good play right there. I believe A.J. Wilson may have just got a breather right there.
It might have been. Let's go back and see if we've got that on the Walker County Federal Credit Union replay, Brian. I can't see from here. It may have been, and we got a good angle there. I'm not sure who that was, Brian. It was. It was Cole. You're right. So he's getting a few touches out here this evening as well. Good to see these other guys getting – it's going to be critical because you never know what's going to happen throughout the season.
Oh, yeah. You have to. These guys that are backups, they have to get some playing time in because you never know. One play, and those backups will be in the game. So, Coach, again, is running through all kind of different scenarios. A while ago they were deep in their end zone. Cam Cole did a great play. They're moving the offense down the field. So, Coach Southern's getting lots of different looks.
Yeah, it is Cam Cole getting some direction there from his coaching staff on the sideline. And Cole will break out here with trips down to the left, the ball resting on the opposing 43. And a handoff here and a nice little run for a couple up to the 40-yard line there on the right side. The handoff goes into the hands of Jalen McClain, the junior running back. And we'll see if they can convert here on a 3rd down and 5 here in this practice, Brian. A little tough calling a play-by-play in practice, but we'll do what we can and see just kind of some of the momentum here as the Hornets will have it. The opposing, where are they looking at here? About the 40-yard line, 5 to go up to the 35. And a keeper here. We've seen it earlier, and now Cole again to the left side, and he'll dive his way forward for another first down. So, Brian, here on this drive, of course, just practice, but we've seen Cole now, 2 separate possessions, healthy runs, resulting in first downs as he brought it down. And you know what we call it here? It's a Moke and Moke Attorneys at Law first down.
Well, there you go. Give credit to that offensive line. Again, we talked about the offensive line prior to the at the beginning of the broadcast, and, it's a brand-new offensive line, but right there they gave Cam plenty of time, opened up a hole. He went through it. It was a good pickup.
It is first down on the opposing 33. On the left side, a delayed handoff here to the right side. The momentum for the Hornets across the 20, angling his way is Jalen McClain, the junior running back here with another healthy run and another Moke and Moke Attorneys at Law first down.
Well, when you can run the ball effectively, the passing game opens up too because then it draws the linebackers in, and Coach is getting a good look right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see a pass play come up here.
It is first down, now inside the Murray Insurance and Financial Services red zone on the 18 on the right hash mark. Pass over to the left side. To the hands of his receiver in the flats is Matt Long, and Long will dive forward as he was angling his way to around the 15. They'll mark him down at the 16-yard line. If there was a clock, it would continue running. Of course, no clock, no score here in this practice. Brings up second down and a long 9, Brian.
One of the things that Huntsville needs to really do this year, since they do have a kind of a young, inexperienced O-line, is they got to be disciplined. You know, they got to watch the false starts. They got to watch the holding. They got to watch penalties like that, because that always seems to happen when you have a big play. So if they can be disciplined, I think the Hornets are just going to roll.
Cole in the gun on second down and 9. He'll fake the handoff, runs to the right, trying to dodge through a defender, angling his way to the 10, and he'll be down at the 10-yard line, close to another first down. He'll be stopped about a yard short. Actually call it 2 yards short. Well, they're going to move it back even another yard, Brian, so 3 yards short. They'll mark him down at the 11, brings up third down, and looks about 3 yards from here.
Well, let's give Cam Cole credit. I mean, he's marched the Hornets all the way down the field, and looks like they're on the 11-yard line, certainly in the red zone. And, again, this is another field situation Coach Southern wants to see and see how his players react.
Cornelius Lawrence, a receiver down to the left alongside, I believe that's Matt Long, a tight end. Here on a third down and 3 from the 12. A snap and handoff to the running back Jalen McClain, and McClain will dive his way forward, and that's enough as he got it to around the 8-yard line for a Moke and Moke attorney at law first down. And that'll move the chains, and it'll be first down and goal here for, I guess we'll call it the practice green, the green machine.
There you go.
Cam Cole still in. It's quarterback on the gun. He'll try to wrap this drive up. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Pitch option sweep over to the right side to McClain. McClain finds the angle, and he's close. And that's a touchdown. A nice drive by the Huntsville Green, and goes inside. And we'll see if we can get a little bit of a replay here on that, Brian.
What a great effort by Cam Cole. It was an option play, a read option, and he read it perfectly.
Yeah, you can see it there as he was darting through defenders. Missed a little bit of that there, but was able to get in that Walker County Federal Credit Union instant replay. Well, friends, we'll step aside. We'll take a break. We'll try to get another interview if we can. Not sure if we're going to be able to get Coach Southern. We won't be on too much longer. We just wanted to introduce you. We'll probably be on the air here for another 10 to 15 minutes as we'll wrap things up shortly. We may go off before this practice is over, Brian. We just got a little bit of limited time tonight, but we will step aside. We'll take a break. Practice continues here from Bauer Stadium. This is the all-new Hornet Nation Broadcast Network.
Fat Boys Pizza, chicken bacon ranch, buffalo chicken, barbecue chicken, margarita chicken. Oh man, it's so good. Loaded baked potato pizza? Yeah, Fat Boys Pizza. You've never tasted pizza this good? Get out of your comfort box and tease those taste buds. Fat Boys Pizza in Riverside. Try those delicious wings. Or how about the Fat Boys Delight dessert with butter, cinnamon, sugar, and cream? Check out Facebook.com/Fat Boys Pizza Trailer. Or make the short drive up 19 in Riverside. Fat Boys Pizza proudly supports the Hornets. Sting 'em.
We made it. We made it to Labor Day. And here at Wiesner in Huntsville, we're going to celebrate Labor Day all month long with huge savings on a great selection of Buick and GMC. We have the all-new Yukon XL in stock. If you're looking for a truck, we've got half tons, 3/4 tons, and plenty of 1 ton. We even have huge savings on a complete lineup of midsize SUVs like the Encore GX, Envision, and Enclave. But you have to hurry to Wiesner in Huntsville and see just how big these Labor Day savings truly are. Or visit us online at WiesnerHuntsville.com. GMC is professional grade.
Ironworks Health Club is open and ready for you. They're observing social distancing and have additional cleaning stations throughout. Group fitness classes are designed with spacing, and there are even some classes outside to enjoy an open-air workout. Sign up for a new membership and get a free 30-minute personal training session with a certified personal trainer. For schedules, membership, and the latest information, follow them on Facebook or go to ironworkshealthclub.net. Come and be an inspiration with Ironworks Health Club.
Hi, folks. This is Jack at Adams Furniture. Listen, you come into the store right now. I know furniture is hard to find. We've got some of this stuff in stock, ready for immediate delivery. A lot of people don't realize we are one of the largest mattress stores in Huntsville. We've got more beds, more selections. As far as price goes, we've got great beds at low prices. You won't be disappointed. That's Adams Furniture, 75 North and 10th Street, or shop online at shopatadams.com.
Looking for no bull customer service, no bull selection, and no bull pricing? Then head to Bill Fick Ford in Huntsville, your no bull Super Duty and Super Crew headquarters. Right now at Bill Fick Ford, there's a huge savings to be had on all in-stock 2019 Ford Rangers and Ford Transit vans. Hurry in today and see for yourself why so many people buy time after time at Bill Fick Ford. Or shop online at BillFickFord.com. Nationwide delivery is free. Bill Fick Ford, I-45 South in Huntsville.
Spring is here, which means longer days and big plans. This is Veronica at CSU. Whether you want to consolidate debt, do some work around the house, cover unexpected expenses, or treat yourself to a much-needed vacation, a personal loan from CSU can cover just about anything you have in mind. Get access to the money you need when you need it. Apply online today at csutx.com or give us a call. Hablamos Español. Bank happy, spend smart, live well. CSU, member NCUA.
KSAM Huntsville, broadcasting live from the Wiesner Huntsville studios. We are your hometown radio station, playing today's best country and all your favorites. 101.7 KSAM.
All right, friends, welcome back. We are live here at Bowers Stadium in the Copeland Family Dentistry broadcast booth. We're in a practice, so if you're just tuning in on the radio, those of you on YouTube know what's going on, but if you're just tuning in on the radio tonight, some of you may have expected to hear a game. That's not the case here tonight, as Nederland had to cancel due to COVID, and Huntsville Hornets said, you know what, we're still going to come in, we're still going to practice, we're going to get in front of our fans and our community. That's what they did tonight, and for those just joining us, Brian, we talked about it earlier. That just shows how committed this team is to this community. And, Brian, by looking at the folks that came out to this practice, it shows how committed these fans are to this team.
Oh, it's amazing. You look down and see how many fans are in the stands. It's incredible. I'm glad they're here. And like you said earlier, Coach Southern tried to get a replacement team when Nederland had to back out, and I mean he went to all everything he could do, everywhere he could go to find a team. It didn't work out, so here we are Friday night. We got us a good practice going on, and the coaches still get to do some evaluations, and players still get a chance to try to win a starting spot.
Absolutely. We've seen glimpses tonight from several players. Of course, we talk about A.J. Wilson as a junior quarterback, but we've also seen Cam Cole, I believe, come in there and play quarterback as well tonight. Some good running that we've seen off of the legs of several players, and including who I was talking about earlier, Jalen McClain. He had some nice runs on a possession earlier. These are just a few of the highlights of some of these kiddos that you're going to see throughout the season. I expect big things out of them, especially, Brian, next week we head up on the road to Willis. As far as I know, you and I may be sitting outside, brother.
Well, Willis has an interesting setup. They have a kind of a big platform deck on the visitor side in the last several years that we've broadcasted from that, and you're kind of in amongst the fans and the band, and it's quite a party actually. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out next week.
Well, possibly. There's still some practice going on here. I know earlier we said we'd be on for about another 10 to 15 minutes, and we will stay on just for a little bit longer. We were hoping to try to get an interview with head coach Rodney Southern sometime tonight. Of course, he is super involved in the game right now. Sometimes, if we could stay till the end, I'm not sure how it's going to play out, Brian, but if we can be on until the end, of course, we'll talk to Coach Southern. But we mentioned earlier throughout this entire broadcast, we wanted to go on to highlight these kids, to call some names, to let folks know in the community what's going on. We also wanted to have this opportunity to let people out there in Radio Land and also on YouTube know who is helping to make these broadcasts possible.
And we certainly thank our sponsors and Community Service Credit Union, now serving Walker, Madison, Trinity, and some parts of San Jacinto counties. Ironworks Health Club, make fitness a part of your life. And Wiesner Huntsville, home of the Bottom Line, and Huntsville Independent School District, focus for our children's unlimited success.
Again, we appreciate everyone in the community. Brian, 24 at my last count, folks have stepped up to help make it possible this year with video, and we'll have those video links all season long at our website, of course, ksam1017.com. And Brian, our crew up here as well, we couldn't do it without them. A lot of folks involved, and as we go off here in just a little bit, we'll talk about our crew as well and the folks that are helping to make things possible here this season. And Brian, when we had the opportunity to do a video, I said we've got to take it. We've got the equipment. We're going to find a way to make it happen. And it's been fun so far getting to see not only here, but those of you that are watching, getting to see these kids' faces. It looks like Huntsville has it again here. A.J. Wilson back out there as they'll run some more reps here. Oh, man, what a powerful slam down there near the 15. I'm talking about a young man that was powering through several players, Brian. We'll try to see if we have that on a replay. I was trying to see who that was that jumped up, who was on the end of that. It was Matt Long, the tight end. And let's go take it back here to a Walker County Federal Credit Union instant replay and see if we had a chance to grab that, as I think it was Matt Long. Possibly, or you're seeing someone else there, Brian.
Looked like it was Justin Butcher who had a really nice stiff arm.
Yeah, I mean, he just plowed through a couple of these young men. So get out of my way, man.
That's Huntsville football. That's what it's all about.
A.J. Wilson again, and this time A.J. is going to be stopped. They will not allow the play to complete, but a nice wrap-up on that play, and able to break through was Quaterian Riles, the senior defensive lineman. We're going to expect a lot of that young man as well this season, Brian.
Yeah, we are, and he had a great year last year, and a lot of these kids had just they've had some great success. And last year, the year before, and before that, and ever since really Coach Southern has been here, a lot of these juniors who are now seniors, there's a lot of expectation coming from these guys. They need to step up, and I'm sure they will. And Coach Southern is going to probably wind this practice down here not too long from this moment. And then next week we'll go live at Willis, and it's going to be on.
Listen, we want to remind you, you've got to get your tickets for the games. You can get them. Here's another nice little wow, spinning around, breaking through several defenders, still stiff arm his way down to the 5-yard line. And I'm telling you, Brian, this season we are going to see a lot of that out of Justin Butcher, the junior wide receiver. For those of you on video, we'll take a look at it here on the Walker County Federal Credit Union replay. But that young man was able to plow through defenders. Brian, check this out. He broke through 3 defenders. One of them almost drug him down at the 15, still on his feet, spun around to the right side, still going, and finally brought down just inside the 10-yard line. That is a big play for a young man that's got a lot of power behind those legs.
Just a lot of power and a lot of athleticism. He is a very talented wide receiver, very fast. And, A.J. Wilson, we talked about him all night long and his command of the field. But, man, you talking about an arm. This kid has an absolute strong arm, and he's going to have targets like Butcher to throw to. And I'm telling you, folks, there's going to be a lot of big plays this year coming from that young man.
Well, and here we'll take a look at the Walker County Federal Credit Union instant replay again right here. A.J. Wilson, as he had it on the keeper from around the 5-yard line and easily found a hole and ran right inside, Brian, as we'll see it here. He only had 2 defenders coming at him, able to work out of it, rolls around to the right side, goes in for the score. And Coach Southern is wrapping up this practice. We will should be able to get an interview with him here in just a few moments. For now, though, we'll step aside. We'll take another break. This is Huntsville Hornet football on the all-new Hornet Nation Broadcast Network.
This offers a wide selection of portable cabins, sheds, horse barns, carports, and much more. So whether you are looking for more storage space or want to create a new space, we have a solution for you. With flexible payment options, including pay up front, rent to own, and traditional financing, everyone can afford their dream structure at Cabins and More of Texas. No credit, no problem. Drop by and see our buildings on Highway 19 in Riverside. For more information, visit camotx.com. Cabins and More of Texas is a proud supporter of Huntsville Hornets football.
First Financial Bank knows how important a person's vehicle can be.
My SUV is perfect for taking clients to properties and me to the golf course.
My pickup hauls work supplies all week and the family on weekends.
My hybrid helps the environment and my fuel bill.
If you're ready for a new vehicle, talk to First Financial. We offer loans at competitive rates with fast local approval. My 4x4 works hard, but plays even harder. First Financial Bank. You first. Member FDIC.
Have you been thinking about replacing your current vehicle with a quality pre-owned like new vehicle? Charlie's Used Cars has a large selection of quality like new vehicles in stock and ready to go. No need wasting time driving around shopping. Just look up charliesusedcars.com or go by and see them at 230 I-45 South in Huntsville. Charlie's Used Cars has been serving the area for 47 years and look forward to many more. Also remember, if your current vehicle needs service or repairs, they can do that too. Charlie's Used Cars and Charlie's Service Center at 230 I-45 South in Huntsville. That's Charlie's Used Cars.
The Huntsville Hornet Quarterback Club thanks the Huntsville community for your support of Hornet football. Are you interested in knowing more about the Hornet football program? Would you like to be involved? Meetings and membership are open to the public. Please like the page on Facebook. Search for Huntsville Hornet Football or go to facebook.com/Huntsville ISD Hornet Football. You can watch Hornet football live all season long at ksam1017.com. Join the Huntsville Hornet Quarterback Club today. Sting 'em Hornets. Hi, friends. Welcome back here to Huntsville Hornet Football on the all-new Hornet Nation Broadcast Network as we got Jordan Smith down on the sideline now with head coach Rodney Southern. Jordan, down to you.
Thanks, Rob. That's right here with head coach Rodney Southern of the Huntsville Hornets. And, Coach, it seemed like practice went pretty well tonight.
Yeah, not bad. A little sloppy early, but, again, this should have been a game, and we were unfortunate in what happened with that. But, not having a game, obviously there's a little bit of a mental letdown. You can't help but have that. But we treated it as close to a game. We also treated it very similar to what would happen next week because we're a 7 o'clock kickoff next week. So hopefully we got enough good work in, and we'll go back and watch it on film and see, where we can make some more improvements and correct some more mistakes.
Kind of speaking about that matchup next week against Willis, obviously, hopefully that being the first game of the season, all things go well. Obviously a rivalry game of sorts, just right down 45. Kind of talk about what y'all are expecting out of this Willis squad.
Well, it's always been a good ball game on both sides, and it has kind of turned into a rivalry. Of course, them moving up to 6A kind of changes that a little bit, but not sure. I haven't had a chance to obviously look at very much film on them. We'd already traded a scrimmage, and we've looked at that, but they're playing right now, so hopefully we'll get to see some of that and see what they really are trying to do tonight against Tomball. And but it's a good ball game for us. Playing 6A teams is going to help us hopefully get ready for our district.
And obviously, Coach, having 30 seniors graduate last season, obviously a lot of turnover on this roster, especially with the offensive line, a whole new front five. Kind of talk about that a little bit, what you thought of their performance tonight.
Well, it's hard to tell with them because there's mistakes that happen in there that you don't really notice. But, yeah, we started 3 sophomores, and we'll start 3 sophomores next Friday night. So, you're going to have some growing pains. You're going to have some things that AJ's going to have to make up for some of those things. But, those kids are in there because that's the best 5 we got. And we're going to continue to coach them and push them. And hopefully they will continue to improve every week and every play.
Now, kind of talking about AJ a little bit, he seemed, at times maybe kind of throw a little over, a little under, maybe throw off his back foot a couple times. But other than that, for a good amount of the practice, he seemed like he had a decent control of the offense.
Well, I think he's got control. He's had a lot of, like I tell him every day, you're blocking one of the best D-lines probably in this area with all 4 of them. So you're going to have some times where you're going to have to move your feet and move the pocket. And we didn't move the pocket as much tonight as we will in a game, but the things AJ's going to do sometimes he's going to have to do with his legs, and that's okay early. But we got to get a little sharper, obviously, throwing the ball because I don't think we threw it tonight as well as we wanted to.
Now, final question here. Obviously, we expect the front 7 of the defense, especially the defensive line, to perform well. But really, we saw a good performance from the secondary here in practice. Kind of talk a little bit about that.
Well, we're new back there. Of course, Jadarian White had a couple picks tonight, and Jadarian's been with us and was a straight basketball guy last year and decided to come back. And obviously we're happy to have him back, made some plays tonight. Cody McLaren and Ethan Miner and Jared Ortega, have all had some action back there. But I thought, overall I thought they played well tonight, without seeing anything on film.
Well, Coach, thank you for the talk here. A good practice, and hopefully we will see some live action next week against Willis.
I hope so. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Head Coach Rodney Southern of the Huntsville Hornets.
Jordan, thank you down there tonight for all of your hard work. We're back here live in the Copeland Family Dentistry broadcast booth. Rob Hipp with Brian Adams. And, Brian, overall a good practice tonight. We heard from Coach there. They've got a few things that they're going to have to work on. But all in all, this is if you couldn't have a game, at least you got to get out here in front of your fans. Your final thoughts on this one before we go tonight, Brian?
Well, this was kind of a dress rehearsal. This was supposed to have been a game against Nederland. Turned out to be a practice, and, they got to practice at Bowers, so that always kind of helps. but they got to look at situational football. They got to look deep in their own end. They got to do the special team. They got to look at aspects of the ball game in preparation for next week. And as Coach Southern was saying, he's going to get the chance to look at some film on Willis, get prepared next week for practice, and it ought to be an exciting game next week.
Well, if we were in post-game right now, which I guess we kind of are post-game, it's brought to you by AB Squared Self-Storage Facility. Appreciate those folks in helping to make this possible this season. Brian, I'm looking forward to Willis. Like I said, we may be sitting outside, though. We don't know yet. We may be sitting outside, and so we're going to do the best that we can to make that happen. And one thing that I talked about last week is this whole COVID pandemic. Look, man, we're trying to find a way to get back to normalcy. And many people, this has affected many people, and many people in just many unimaginable ways, Brian. People have lost their jobs. People are struggling. My father's in a nursing home. We didn't get to see him for 6 or 7 months. And he was finally able to come home and visit last weekend, which was a blessing. But this football is bringing back something that this community needs, and people, in my opinion, all over the place need. They need something. And hopefully this will be a little bit of a spearhead of hope to kind of get things rocking and rolling again. Sports has a way of doing that, especially Texas high school football.
Well, in my opinion, there's absolutely nothing better than Texas high school football. And, the UIL, in my opinion, did the right thing. Football is hugely important for these communities throughout Texas and throughout the country. It gets these kids together. It gets them to work as a team, through the ups and the downs. And that's so important in life. And give people a break. Like you said, there's been a lot of things, a lot of bad things that have gone on the last few months. And you talk about my mother. She's in an assisted living facility, and I got to see her for the first time last week in 3 months, and that's very tough. But football brings people together, and I think that's what we need more than anything right now. And it was fun to watch the Hornets, albeit it was a practice, but it was still, it was fun to watch.
Well, Brian, I'm excited to be back in the booth with you, my friend. I missed you, man. We were gone for a while, and great to be back, and just a big blessing to be here tonight. We're grateful to Sam Houston State University for allowing us to be here at Bowers. They could have easily said, no, you can't be here. We're thankful to them for that, and for our Hornets being able to have a place to come call home and continue to sting them, my friend.
Well, no question about it. This is, again, Rob, this is my favorite time of year. The weather is starting to turn cooler. You can feel it outside that fall is approaching. Football is about to happen, and it's just great.
Well, we look ahead to Willis coming up next week. This is going to be the first Willis playing tonight, and so they're going to have one game under their belt. We'll have a scrimmage and a practice under our belt. Kind of your thoughts briefly as we head into Willis coming up next week, Brian.
Well, next week everything everybody's has to bring what they've learned over the summer in the scrimmage and the practice tonight. And these kids are prepared. They got a great coaching staff who's gone through all this all the situational plays you can do. And it's going to be all up to the kids now. And I know these Hornets, traditionally as a powerhouse, and it's going to be the same again this year. And I expect a lot of points being scored by A.J. Wilson and crew. And I think that defensive front and the defensive as a whole for the Huntsville is just absolutely nasty. It's going to be a great year.
Well, Brian, as always, we appreciate the opportunity to bring you these broadcasts. As you said, albeit a practice today or here tonight, but we will be back on next week. The Willis Wildcats on the road. Hopefully what will be the opener now. The season opener was expected tonight, so hopefully we'll be back. And Brian, I always got to thank you, of course, for all that you do, man, and making my job a lot easier up here in the broadcast booth. Josh Criswell should be joining us back next week for Sideline. We appreciate the fine work of Jordan Smith down on Sidelines. Jordan, thank you for helping out today in a pinch, because we called him and said, Jordan, can you come up? He said, I'll be right there. And so we appreciate him and his accessibility for coming up here tonight. Brian, on behalf of all of our crews, for Brian Adams, Josh Criswell, who couldn't be here tonight, Mr. Melton Green helping out on camera, alongside Nathan Height, TJ Garrett, and, of course, Jordan Smith. I'm Rob Hipp. And normally we say your final score. We won't say that tonight. We'll just say we'll see you next week coming up at Willis. Reminding you tonight, friends, that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you tonight. Good night, Huntsville, Texas, and God bless. We'll see you coming up next week. Have a great night, everyone.
Good night.
teaches the fundamentals of baseball and softball with proven offensive and defensive strategies and techniques. We instruct and inspire each player to be the best they can be by teaching the mental side of the game. To have the confidence to bring in the game-winning hit, visit us online at hittss.com. Hit Solutions, a proud supporter of the Huntsville Hornets.
Hey, this is Tracy Chappell, City of Huntsville's Main Street Manager. I want to encourage you to invest in our community, Huntsville First. Whether you visit an antique shop downtown or stop by your favorite food truck, every purchase you make here in Huntsville boosts our economy. Become a tourist in your own backyard. Get out and enjoy the great outdoors at Huntsville State Park or the Sam Houston National Forest. Visit one of our historic museums and enjoy the art and culture available right here in Huntsville. Remember, shop, eat, play. Huntsville First.
Hey, how are y'all? This is Daiquiri Beebe with Abbey Realty. Communication is key when it comes to a successful real estate transaction. Putting my clients first and helping them through the entire process is my passion. I know the neighborhoods in our community and those who live in them. I serve and volunteer with numerous organizations because I value Huntsville. You may have seen the I Heart Huntsville interviews or read my articles in the paper. I'm Daiquiri Beebe with Abbey Realty, and I'd be honored to be your next real estate professional. Sting 'em Hornets!
First Financial Bank knows how important a person's vehicle can be.
My SUV is perfect for taking clients to properties and me to the golf course.
My pickup hauls work supplies all week and the family on weekends.
My hybrid helps the environment and my fuel bill.
If you're ready for a new vehicle, talk to First Financial. We offer loans at competitive rates with fast local approval. My 4x4 works hard, but plays even harder. First Financial Bank. You first. Member FDIC.
Ironworks Health Club is open and ready for you. They're observing social distancing and have additional cleaning stations throughout. Group fitness classes are designed with spacing, and there are even some classes outside to enjoy an open-air workout. Sign up for a new membership and get a free 30-minute personal training session with a certified personal trainer. For schedules, membership, and the latest information, follow them on Facebook or go to ironworkshealthclub.net. Come and be an inspiration with Ironworks Health Club.
KSAM Huntsville, broadcasting live from the Wiesner Huntsville studios. We are your hometown radio station, playing today's best country and all your favorites. 101.7